Today's job, we're going to be removing a Garborator altogether and just straight piping the sink. Customer doesn't want the Garborator anymore, and some people love them, some people hate them. This one isn't working anymore though, so they just want to get rid of it. They said they don't use it anymore. So the first thing I'm going to do is just remove the drain, which is just two flat screwdrivers, two flathead screws, and it'll just swivel, and that'll remove the Garborator from the drain assembly. Next, you're going to want to, it's about a quarter turn to release it. I'm just using, you can use anything really, an Allen key works too. And you want to give it about a quarter turn, and the whole Garborator will drop like that. This thing's heavy. It's just full of gunk. I should have mentioned, make sure the power is off to the Garborator. I double checked this one. You can see the power there. And what I'm doing here is just clipping the wire. I'll deal with the electrical afterwards. I probably should have opened with that. Make sure the power is off before doing anything. So now that the Garborator is out of there, the next thing you got to do is remove the, I'm going to call it assembly. This is the part that actually, it's like a basket strainer basically, but it holds the actual Garborator to the sink. It's just these three screws you want to loosen, and then there is a collar in there that you have to pop off, which I'll show you shortly. And what I usually do is just use a flat screwdriver, and you can pop that collar out. And here's the collar here. So once that collar is released, the entire drain assembly will drop, or basket strainer, or Garborator assembly, whatever you want to call it. And you can remove the top portion, and now you're ready, and the Garborator is officially gone. So now it's time to start rebuilding using an actual basket strainer. And you can see here, the only reason I'm turning this like this is because the basket strainer, I think it was a Steel Queen, and they have symbols on them, and it drives me crazy if the symbols aren't perfectly lined up. So I am a silicone guy. I use plumber's putty too, but I actually prefer silicone. I made a video a long time ago about silicone versus plumber's putty, and the conversation that started. Some people are very upset at both. Some people say plumber's putty's a joke, some people say silicone's a joke. I don't really care, whatever works for you, whatever doesn't get you called back to the job for a leak, go with that one. Always remember though, when you use silicone, once you get the basket strainer in place, make sure to wipe off any excess, and you don't want much excess on the top of the sink. And I think that's why a lot of people don't like silicone. You can stain the stainless steel if you use too much, so use it carefully. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this 90 off that was used for the Garborator, and I'll just put a coupling on that. Now be careful, there is going to be some water in the P-trap. So you can see here, because it's a swivel P-trap, I'm able to turn it slightly, or a union P-trap. I'm able to turn it slightly to line it up with my new basket strainer. So I'll throw a coupling on here, and this is sped up slightly if you're wondering. I don't move this quick. I'm not slow, but I don't move that quick. And I'll cut my piece of pipe, a small piece that I'll glue onto a trap adapter, and a 90. And what that'll let me do is get a measurement for my in-between. So you'll see here, I'll put the trap adapter and the 90 together, and then I'll put it on the tailpiece for the basket strainer. And again, what that's going to allow is my horizontal measurement. These trap adapters can be a bit of a pain getting that gasket on. But you'll see here, I'll get the horizontal measurement. What's that, around 7? I don't know. So I removed the entire tail piece there. So now I can get it all. You can see how it's sitting in the top of the trap adapter. And what that'll allow me to do is to glue my pipe on a slight angle and turn the pipe, you can see there, angle, and turn the pipe towards the basket strainer. And then I can lock everything into place. Listen, any questions, feel free to ask. Leave them in the comments. I'll try and get to them. I'm a busy guy, but I'll try and get to them. And there you go. So make sure to always run it, test for leaks,